I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but I'm going to go ahead and admit it, that I was having a nice conversation with you guys before I realized I did not hit the go live button. So I was literally talking to myself. Sometimes I start out the conversation talking to myself anyway, as there's no one present, which is okay. But right now it appears that we have Greg Dayton present, saying hello, everybody from Stockton, California. Hope you're well. Thank you for that. Hope you're well too. Let me say it that way. I'm just taking care of a few things real quick. I was mentioning in my conversation with myself that it is June 21st, 2024. We are officially one day into summer. I guess 2 days now. Yesterday was the first day. And it's hot. Feels like summer. It is in the mid 90s right now. As of Sunday, it's going to get to be 99 degrees. And they tell us with the heat index, humidity, it's going to feel like it's going to be 100 and something, which is interesting to be told what something feels like. Did we actually, how did we ever get by in life without someone in an agency tell us what something feels like? Feels like it feels. That's just me, maybe. I'm okay here in the weather. I don't need to be told how something feels. That's like saying it's raining. It's going to feel wet. So we know that. When they say it's 97 but feels like 100, we just know how it feels. That's it. We don't necessarily need a degree on it. There's my complaint for the day, such as it is. Eric LaPointe is here. Eric, how are you? I got your channel up. I was just about to look on at your bat, as well as ants. You know who's going to love that is Squirrel Sniper and the Monarch. Awesome. Those are great shots. We saw a Monarch in the making the other day. And I see, wow, you are up to 441 subscribers. Good job. Greg says, hello to both Erics. Eric squared. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up my desktop. It's easier to see some of the names. Don't have to squint. Kolakani, am I saying that right, my friend? Says hi. Kolakani. How are you? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you being here. Eric says thanks. From, how are you, my friend? So I put up a little video I just made. I'm doing a lot of shorter videos. Content. Trying to think in terms of content. What can I do along with the shorts? I absolutely love doing the nature shorts. I've talked about that. I think aside from the live session, that's the main focus for me, is just sharing those little parts of nature in my area that I get to. Let's see. Prem. It is Prem, right? Am I pronouncing it right? Where are you from? I am from the east coast of the United States of America. Mid-Atlantic area, more specifically. How about you, my friend? So, one of the things I was talking about, and I sort of started it as a series yesterday. Maybe it was the day before, too. earning a living through YouTube as my chosen point of creativity. At one time, it was hopefully earning a living through my blog, as well as Medium, as I know several people who make a very comfortable living on their blog. Did not work that well for me, um, which is okay, because that's, I keep the blog anyway. I keep working on it. Jacob's here. Let's see, it's from Nepal. That's awesome. We definitely have not had anyone from Nepal stop here before. Jacob's here. Jacob says, hey, brother, Mr. Yogi, big salute to you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And Jacob is offering some blessings and greetings to you all. A big salute. So there's no small amount of fear in attempting to do so. I don't know if I can, I mentioned before, I'm in a fortunate position. It's not like I'm trying to make a ton of money to support myself through my creativity. I am taking a chance, as we all should, at some point or another. Step into the unknown, embrace it, see what it offers, explore it. As we talked about with Joe Delaney yesterday, there's really no such thing as failure. There's just results, and what we do with those results, entirely up to us. However, it's still taking a chance. It's still stepping into fear. There's the realization that there are some blocks in my head that keep me from, or have kept me from, using my creativity as a means of earning an income. And I'm stepping into that now. I'm seeing where it leads me. This all turns me around to the practice of yoga, of course, as well as working with the Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles says that this is what I love about the Course in Miracles. It presents a day by day, a moment by moment plan of action. We can choose between two things, love and the opposite of love, which is fear. A lot of people say the opposite of love is hatred, except according to the metaphysics of the Course in Miracles, hate's an illusion. You have love, and you have that which blocks us from the realization of love, which is fear. So everything falls under that illusion of fear. The Course says only love is real. Nothing unreal can happen. So anytime we are caught in the illusion of fear, we simply need to remember and return back to love. That's my plan of action going forward. So let's see. Now we got some people going here. Greg says, song by Bob Seger, Kathmandu. Are you a Bob Seger fan? I saw him in concert. Not one of my favorite concerts. Not Bob Seger's fault, entirely my own. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Hi there, lovely Goldie. How's your work going today? Hey, Greg, what was your favorite concert you ever went to? Jacob says, hey, brother, Eric LaPointe. Hey, Jacob, I didn't see a live session from you today. Did I just miss it? Let's see, Eric LaPointe says, Jacob, I talked about you, Yogi, and the Burpee Reaper on my live today. I saw that you went live. I just come back from my walk, and it was like 5:40, and I think it was already over. Greg says, to Goldie, nice to chat with you, but lately it's been very rough. Sorry about that, Greg. So yeah, one of the famous lines from A Course in Miracles, only love is real. Nothing unreal exists. Makes it pretty simple. That's why I think after years of sort of meandering through A Course in Miracles, I felt called back to dive really deep and practice, because yoga is a wonderful tool. It clears out the blockages that keep us caught in the illusion that we are a separate self from that we're an object in a world of objects. But yoga takes some work. You got to commit yourself to the path. You have to start with the ethical restraints, the personal observances, pranayama, the postures, withdrawal of the senses, and then the meditation path. It's a joyful path. I absolutely love it. Would not trade my yoga practice for the world. However, sometimes it helps to have that moment by moment when you're dealing with someone on a live stream that pops up that's not the most pleasant person. Years of yoga training comes in handy. However, having a tool right now at my disposal of, am I responding out of fear or out of love? Those are the only two choices according to the Course in Miracles. So I have that. It's a handy practice. Anything that happens, an argument with your spouse, am I responding? Am I choosing love or am I choosing fear? Argument with a kid, am I choosing love or am I choosing fear? Argument with your boss, am I choosing love or am I choosing fear? Love doesn't necessarily mean that you are giving in. It just means that you're responding from love and you're asking the wisdom available to you. In A Course in Miracles, they call it the Holy Spirit. And some people get turned off by that religious term. You can call it the Tao. You can call it life. You can call it reality. You can call it whatever you can call it a loaf of bread. It's the same thing. So, all right. Sorry guys, my allergies acting up a bit. Goldie says, Greg, I hope our company, it makes it a little bit easier. I hope so as well. Thank you for that, Goldie. Well, Greg has been to 13 concerts from 74 to 77. What was your favorite? Our fellow Edith says, I'm paralyzed. What do I do? Well, I'm not a doctor, my friend. And I can't give really medical health advice. I'm assuming that you are under a doctor's care or you have a doctor. Or are we talking about something different? Are we paralyzed by fear, paralyzed by inaction? My hope, whatever the case may be, is that you are in loving hands, that someone is helping you. Mayhem says, Mayhem and Miracles. Welcome, my friend, Maja. Quick hello, very busy today. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, especially on a busy day. That means a lot that you would take the time to do so. Greg says, thank you. Goldie, 77 days until the big 70. Just hope I will see that day. What makes you think that you might not, my friend? Jacob says, really, thank you for the mention, Brother Eric. Guess I've been missing out on some lives this morning. Been busy cleaning the house and other stuff. Yeah, it has to be done sometimes. You gotta hate when life gets in the way from our YouTube experience. Maja says, you're welcome. Have a great stream. I hope so. Let's see. I hope you guys, as mentioned before, if you're growing your channel, even if you're not growing your channel, if you want to help other people grow your channel, or if you just enjoy nice conversation with a great group of people, head on over to Mayhem Miracles. and just relax. Listen, join in if you're feeling called for, and support people. Master says, thanks, care. Take care. Thank you again. Very much appreciate you coming by. Let's see. Greg says, Sir Paul was really good. George Harrison was good, I bet. And at 77, I saw Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac in their heyday when they were still on their Rumors tour. Wow. The Doobie Brothers. Some good shows. Definitely some good shows. I think some of my favorite were smaller venues. Seeing Van Morrison was definitely an experience. Bob Dylan and Tom Petty opening up for the Grateful Dead at RFK Stadium in 1991. Maybe it was 1990. They did a bunch of shows together. Paul Simon was great. Big Paul Simon fan. As a matter of fact, I think Paul Simon might rival Paul McCartney as one of the all-time great songwriters ever, and it's specifically from that era. So, Jacob, did you get your burpees in today? And how about you, Eric Lapointe? So, yeah, I hope to do, again, these short videos talking about the stuff that I was just talking about. From working YouTube sort of as a artistic and income, job, career, all in one thing, and sharing the things that inspire me, from the entire path of yoga, from the ethics, all the way to samadhi, which is the achievement of meditation, for lack of a better word. And then I want to do some individual breathwork stuff as well that might be helpful for some people. Greg says, Eric, the host, it's a long story about my life. Sometimes I wish I could go to sleep and never wake up. Sorry. No need to apologize. I'm sorry to hear that. Anytime you want to, talk about anything, any concern, feel free. If possible, I was tempted to say we're here to help. I don't know. Other than company, other than listening, I don't know what help could be provided. But sometimes just listening, knowing that someone is there and willing to listen, is enough. Hey Goldie, is today a 10-hour day? Let's see. Eric Point says, yes, they did 100 wood splitters, 3 8 counts, and 4 2-pump Navy SEALs with jumping jacks and leg lifts. Wow. Man, you followed a Jacob routine. Someone must have woken up and felt highly motivated today. That's awesome. Hey, Jacob, yard work, even housework, is certainly a workout in and of itself. Jacob says, no, I usually take a rest day of my burpee workout routines, focus on chores and yard work on Thursdays and Fridays. I still stay active and move and even go walking. Enjoy seeing nature. Sounds like a good day. Getting stuff done, active recovery, and getting out in nature. Actually, sounds almost like a perfect day. Hey, Jacob, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Here's something I don't know if you have people might have not picked up on. If you go and you jump into one of Jacob's live stream, he never talks about himself. He's always asking about other people. He's always mentioning other people. He is always concerned about other people. Goldie says, sorry guys, I deleted the message. That's okay. Yeah, I was just curious how old you are and what brought you to burpees? What inspired you to take on the most miserable path of fitness I can imagine? One of them. The single hardest thing I've ever done is 10-minute sets in kettlebell sport. Sounds pretty easy. 10 minutes. The thing is, you either have 2 or 1 kettlebell, and you don't set it down for the entire 10 minutes. It is either resting overhead, resting in the rack position, or it's in motion for 10 minutes, and it's absolutely miserable. I had more fun running 100 miles. I suffered more in 10 minutes than running 100 miles. Other than that, burpees are pretty miserable too. Let's see. Goldie says, I'm sorry, lovely people. I was reaching for the phone and deleted someone's message. I'm sorry. That's okay. Not an issue at all. It's a 10-hour shift today. All right. Well, we'll be here with you. Ice Commandant. Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you, my friend. Good day. Regerts. Is that, we're good? Jacob says, you're becoming a burpee beast, Brother Eric. Big salute to you, and much love, brother. Yeah, I think we saw that coming. I think that because Eric Lapointe came in with a bang, that the inevitable was going to happen. Eric was going to make a run for the burpee throne. Let's see. Ice says, did you like the song? I did not get a chance to listen to it. Last night, by the time we wrapped things up, I was pretty tired, sleepy. My herbal sleep supplement was kicking in big time. I did my breath work, and I went straight to bed. But I will listen to it. I think Mocha brought it up. Or I think she listened to it. Ice says, bummer, but all in due time. Yes. Since this is the earlier live stream, it'll be easier. Yeah, so yeah, Jacob, I'm just curious, I'm always curious why someone would decide to do burpees. I think one of the hardest for burpees was when I was doing the busy dad. Um, 20 minutes. One session is 20-minute Navy SEALs, one session is 20-minute 6 counts. How many can you get? It's definitely a good test of fitness. 20 minutes um, feels like a 5K. I think 20 minutes is a good. Anything more, you got to start holding back. 20 minutes gives you that. You're just going for it. Ice says, burpees, isn't that where you do like this jump? It's sort of, but we don't do the jump at the end. You certainly could do the jump, but um, for when you're doing it for a long period of time and not seeing, you don't take that little extra initiative with the jump. Greg wants to know if Goldie gets paid vacations. Eric Point says, thanks, Jacob. I have a long way to go. That means a lot coming from you. It is high praise coming from Jacob. A lot of people, this big burpee community. And some people have branched out into other things. Right now, to me, it seems the big four: Jacob, Burpee Reaper, Leo said so. Oh, there's so many. I shouldn't. This is the present day Mount Rushmore. Uh, Brian Lane. Of course, that doesn't diminish all the others at all. Jacob says, 31, Miss Yogi, and I was inspired by the Big Burpee Master and legendary Iron Wolf. Hey, Eric, have you checked out Iron Wolf yet? I wanted to try something new and get out of my comfort zone. Yeah, that certainly is. And I always enjoy calisthenics. Burpees and Iron Wolf particularly, will get you out of your comfort zone. Ice says he is definitely the youngest here. How old are you? Ice? Greg says, I got some old fart here. I'm not too far behind you, Greg. Ice says, how old are you, Mr. Greg? Jacob says, so high rep calisthenics was my path to head to, and plus I have a passion for it and I truly enjoy sharing that with others, helping them on their way, getting fit, healthy, and happy. Awesome. It's a great path. It's everything you need. Of course it's great to add in pull-ups. And if you do some of the Iron Wolf routines, he has, other tools as well. But burpees, you on the floor. It's all you need. Endless variations, as Jacob shows. Jumping jacks, squats, lunges. Eric says, yeah, that's a good list. And Iron Wolf, just a little. He was a big inspiration for a lot of people, especially during the COVID shutdown, as they went to YouTube looking for, the gyms were closed. How do I stay in shape? And Iron Wolf came up. I did quite a few of his routines mixed in with busy dad training a few years ago. I says, actually then, Which is 18. That's probably the youngest here now, but we do have some younger people coming in. Night Watchers 15, Flower Oh, by the way, Flower's birthday isn't until the 29th. She came in the live stream this morning. It's nice to get a chance to say hi. Greg says, hey to Commandant, now be 70 in 77 days. Goodbye to the 60s. I hope that life just keeps getting better and better for you, Greg. Ice says, that's kind of cool, I assume, in some ways. What's that? Jacob says, hey to Ice Commandant, so to you, you can add the jump if you want. Yeah, many people do. I think people didn't add it in because that was how Iron Wolf did it, and because he goes for super long sessions, hours or more, that you're setting a pace. Ice says, I always fascinate and dream about if I'd be older to see the complete new generation, and just thinking all the way back to the childhood I'd have at their age. Like I said, kind of fascinating to me. It is fascinating. Very interesting. And no doubt you'll be there. What kind of world will we have when Ice is going on 70 years old? The great thing is you have someone like Ice who gets to bring that new world into fruition. What world do you want to see, Ice? Because that's the world that you can create. You're in a very fortunate position. You are young, full of passion and energy. So just have a clear vision. What kind of world you want to see? As I mentioned lots and lots of times, in A Course in Miracles, they say, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you perceive the world. So it all falls on us. What's the old saying that first you need to believe it before you can perceive it? I don't even know if that's necessarily so, but I do know that we need to perceive it within the mind and then put it into action. I think it was Emerson who wrote about building castles. Gives me an excuse to go Google something. If I can find the right quote. Here it is, I think. Nope, it was Henry David Thoreau, who was a contemporary of Ralph Waldo Emerson. One thing, since I did promise an Emerson quote, is that Emerson said that the ancestor to every action is a thought. So, the way we begin creating a new world is to have the thought of a new world, the new world that we would like to see. Henry David Thoreau says, if you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundation under them. We repeat that. If you have built castles in the air, meaning you've daydreamed, some people might say that's a waste. All that time daydreaming of being an artist, all that time daydreaming of a better planet, of a life without warfare, of equal rights for everyone, of no more starving children. It's a dream. It's a fantasy. It can't be done. No one's ever done it before. We still have starving children. That's castles in the air. But this is what Henry David Thoreau says: your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundation under them. So that means daydream, fantasize, and then put the work in. I says I can add everything I want. I got the young man energy and body. It's a good place to be. I remember 18 well. I never really had too many aches and pains or injuries or nagging stuff until 58. Always recovered pretty quickly. Not that I didn't hurt myself on occasion, but I always recovered quick. And then doing something stupid, I hurt my back. I hurt my back in 1990, deadlifting, training for a competition. And through the years, it would sometimes get out of whack, but I could always train through it. And I did this time as well, as I re-injured it or re-triggered it, but I had to be more careful. I says, a complete random question. How tall are you? I am super incredibly short. I'm about 5'9"-ish. Maybe slightly under 5'9", maybe slightly over 5'9". You got to catch me on a tall day. On a tall day, I'm over 5'9". All depends on gravity. If gravity is wearing me down, pushing me closer to the ground, I might be 5'8" and just under that mark. On a good gravity day, I'm lifted up. Jacob is 6'1". Wow. I says, you're quite a bit taller. Yes, he is. 5'5" is not, I wouldn't say 5'5" is incredibly short. Jacob says, I don't like being tall. Bump my head too many times. Let's see. I said some people bump their heads, but they only get smarter and prettier from it. Some people, that's for sure. I says, not you, of course. Eric Point says 5'6". But Eric Lapointe appears taller on film. I mentioned that before. So the secret, Eric, always have someone pointing a camera at you, and everyone will think you're 6 foot. Eric says, big guys that are shorter than me tell me they're 5'8". But guys that are shorter than me tell me they're 5'8". Yeah, some people like to stretch that truth a little bit. But if you're shorter than 5'6" and you're telling people you're 5'8", eventually you're going to come across someone who is 5'8". So let's see here. I just wanted to check out Jacob's channel. Jacob is at 163 subscribers. I says, go to the Netherlands. They grow the tallest people on the average in the world, I think. For men, it's like 6'1", and women 5'7", 5'9". I didn't know that. I had assumed the tallest people on average were probably uh, in Africa, some of the African tribes. But of course, um, I think that's just one or two tribes. My brother is 6'1" or 6'2". I think my grandfather was like 6'3" on my mom's side. He's my older brother. Also has a full head of hair. Um, so here I am, 5'9"ish, 5'8"ish. I don't have the hair, don't have the height, don't have the hair. Fortunately, I inherited the good looks and the intelligence in the family. So, we got a bit of a smaller crowd today, which isn't bad. Gives us an opportunity to ask the right questions, talk about the right stuff. So, I guess 2 or 3 days ago, I demonstrated the breath practice, uh, annulum vilome, alternate nostril practice, or breathing. I'll talk a little more about that, as that I think might be the breath practice. It's always good to have a lot of tools in the toolbox, or at least select tools in the toolbox. You know, they say if all you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail. Um, but you can't go wrong if you only needed one breath. That might be the one that I would pick. I do think it's best to have a morning practice to wake you up, to have that afternoon and pre-meditation practice. Um, keep you even keeled, help you relax, keep stress at a low level, also give you energy. And then you have the sleep hygiene practice at night, as sleep being such a fragile commodity in this day and age. I don't know what the statistics were. They were pretty high about the number of people, percentage of people who suffer from some type of sleep issue, from severe insomnia to, you know, at least an over occasional uh, inability to get a good night's rest. I says, let's see. Funny thing about me, in my free time, I love to study. I study history. I have such big knowledge on historical events and everything. I even know stories that are almost never heard or almost forgotten. That's awesome. It's a good knowledge base to have. I also studied ideologies as well in politics. Nice. I says my knowledge on history is in WW1 mainly and WW2, but also on other times. Can tell you so many stories and fun facts about history. You'd be surprised. Well, not anymore. I wouldn't be surprised because you told me. But hey, anytime you want to share uh, fun fact or interesting, always up for new information. I says yes. I did an IQ test not long ago. Apparently, I have a really good short and long term memory. Excellent. Will serve you well. Serve you well in life. Ice is going to share a WW2 story. Awesome. I had some uncles that fought in Europe in World War II, and my father in the South Pacific in the last days of World War II. Sad to think that we are nearing the end of that generation. AC and C is here, says hi everyone on lunch break. Appreciate you sharing some time of your lunch break with us, my friend. How are you? Are you working in the bakery today? We're going to do a quick quick scan through YouTube and see who might be going live. Noble stopped by my early morning live stream as well. He is at 8,000 subscribers right now. I see our friend 2Cap has a video up, week 2 of deadlifts. I will be sure to check that out shortly. AC C says mom's store got robbed last night. Well, I'm sorry. And they took all the cooking supplies. I'm cleaning up the mess. Wow. Really sorry to hear that. What a thing to steal. I guess they're assuming it's something that they can sell. ACC says mom is crushed and thinking of retiring. Is insurance going to cover? I hope she doesn't retire. As you mentioned yesterday or the day before, that this is a passion for her and she was thinking of opening up a second location. Definitely a setback. And definitely a setback when you're, 77. You feel like the thing that you love to do was compromised. So I'm really sorry about that. 28K stolen. Wow. Well, I hope insurance steps in, and I hope the police catch who did that. I says he escaped to, let's see. He escaped to Germany and joined them in WW2 and fought the Soviet again, and after the war went to America, where he changed his name to Larry Thorne and fought in Vietnam in the Green Berets. I haven't heard that. He died in a helicopter crash in Vietnam. He is well known for a bunch of medals. He won, you could search up. What is that? Laura E. Tormey medals? I will. As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy that right now and put it in Google. Seems they put they made a movie about him, and there's some books. He was Finnish. Interesting. He fought under 3 flags. Finnish army officer. And then, as I says, fought under the red flag, and then America. That's quite a story. Let's see, ACC says this is the fourth time they broke in. Now money isn't there to open another site. Their insurance is investigating. Wow, man, that's terrible news, my friend. Jacob says, I'm sorry to hear that, ACC. Many blessings to you and your mom. Definitely many blessings your way, my friend. Squirrel Sniper is here, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? How's the back doing? I says, you said you had a family who fought? Yes, my father fought in the South Pacific. He didn't fight, he was on a minesweeper. Joined the Navy when he was 17. Last several months during the war. And two uncles who fought in Europe, who were actually there at the liberation of some of the concentration camps. Two, I think maybe three uncles. And another uncle who was a mechanic during the Korean War. Let's see, Ice says, it sounds funny, probably for you, but I had a few family who served in that time on the other side. Ice says, it's fascinating how we are here now. Exactly. It's funny how we view history. I read a quote once, I don't remember who said it. In the history of warfare, it's never worked. Otherwise, we would only need one. And if you look at how events in one war have actually triggered events that lead eventually to another war, that lead to other conflict, that lead to other conflict, and on and on and on and on. It seems at the point we're at now, we should be able to realize that it's not even a last resort, that it should be an impossibility. That what we've seen, what we've witnessed, even just recent history, from, for me, I was alive when, I guess, the farthest away war was the Spanish-American War. But there was definitely still World War I veterans. When my dad was alive, there were still Civil War veterans. And my grandfather, who was born in 1883, even further back. So, history is always fresh. History is always happening now. What will be viewed as history. So you would think that with all that fresh from the horrors of World War II, of course, World War I was supposed to be the war that ends all wars. I says, from the old note I have the death of my family member in the war. It claims that he died trying to take out an American tank crew. Interesting. Wolf says, when we forget the horrors of war, we tend to repeat it. Yeah, sadly so. And welcome, Wolf, my friend. How are you? How are you feeling? How is Barb feeling? Funny thing is, we could end war instantly. One person changing their thoughts. That's the big thing, when I keep saying, don't seek to change the world, think how you seek to change how you perceive the world. If one person changed their thoughts, how different something would be. Imagine if Putin had that realization. Instantly, things would be different. Go back in history and just think of any one person who was instrumental in any major conflict escalating or beginning, and think, what if they just had an epiphany, a moment of grace? Remember the song we talked about, Amazing Grace, how it was written by a slaver, someone who owned a slave ship, who made very profitable slave runs, and he considered himself a religious man. As a matter of fact, many did and thought it was their duty to enslave people, because that way they would be exposed to God, their God. However, something changed. I don't remember his name. He had an epiphany as he was crossing the ocean with slaves, horribly chained at the bottom of the ship. Something broke through. He turned the ship back, and he released everyone. Devoted his life as a minister after that. Our friend T is here. T says, sorry, in a very dark place, in the dark pit of depression. No need to apologize, my friend. We are here not to cheer you up, but just to hold you, however you are right now. Let's see. Wolf says, we are doing okay for two old people. I said it's sad how World War I is almost completely forgotten. That's why I learned mainly about that one and know absolutely everything. Well, as Wolf says, that we tend to forget the horrors of war. I hope we never forget the horrors of nuclear war, of dropping bombs, dropping the bombs. And so that never repeats itself. T says you need several gallons of super glue. I feel broken and it's destroyed by events. That's the difference, though. T is not trying to fix anything, but just here to hold you, allow that brokenness to be, and then see where the pieces lay, and then see in the spaciousness of that brokenness what can be accomplished. And I know right now, not the best time to talk about what can be accomplished. So just experience what you're experiencing without trying to make it pass, without trying to make it be anything other than it is, and just know that you're loved. Right now, broken parts and all, you're simply loved. Master Sergeant, retired Mocha, is here, and she says hugs to Bumblebee. I says in WW1 there was a German messenger who almost got bombed. He was unarmed and dizzy. A British soldier aimed at him, but spared his life in order to show kindness. The messenger walked away. It can happen in the midst of war. Wasn't it World War One, where I think both sides, there was a impromptu ceasefire during Christmas, and another time so that they could play a game of football, soccer here in America. Our friend Odom is here. Odom, how are you, my friend? How is the garden, and what are we harvesting now? Jacob says hi to Bumblebee. T says, I'm too exhausted to get back up, to be destroyed by same service neglecting my needs. I know you are. You know what? Right now, don't worry about getting up. Right now, tend to your wounds. Just tend to your wounds. Sometimes that's just enough. Let's see, Wolf says, hi as to Mocha, retired. The Master Sergeant. T says, thank you. Every comment, grateful. Sometimes, encouragement and words and advice, all offered with the best of intentions. But sometimes when you're broken, you just need to be broken just for a little bit, or however long it lasts. Let the energy gather on its own. Let things fall where they are. And then, when it's time to proceed, you'll know when it's time to proceed. You'll know what to do, and you'll take the next step. But, man, it's hard. And sometimes we need to allow it to be hard. We're always trying to get rid of our, when we're down, despondent. Getting rid of being despondent. Getting rid of this and that I can't be depressed, that I can't be broken, that I can't be this or I can't be that. When in truth is, you can just be. Whatever that might hold. Just be. For right now. There'll come a time when you'll get up off the floor and you'll say, okay, time to take the next step. It doesn't have to be right now. Relax in the beingness of feeling depressed. I don't often try to cheer people up anymore. Especially not when you have a valid reason to feel beaten down, because you've been beaten down. However, that doesn't mean you've been defeated. I have no doubt whatsoever that when the time is right, when the energy has been gathered, when you're feeling that now is the time, that you will get up and you'll proceed. But for now, feel the way you feel and just know that you're loved. Sorry here, let me catch up a bit. Odom says, I'm good. Cucumber, blackberries, blueberries, tomatoes, and potatoes. I'm good with all the berries. All the berries, man. Cucumbers, I can take them or leave them. Tomatoes, if you make it into a sauce and you put it on a pizza, and I'm all about potatoes. That's a good crop right now, Odom. Moon says, blessings to Bumbles. Hoka says, hi, it's the Wolfikins. Ice says, that same German messenger who walked away later after the war felt bitter and disrespected about the Treaty of Versailles and joined the German political and messenger who got spared later, start of World War II. We never know how karma plays out. T says, wish I could do a set of burpees for stress relief, but can't even stand. The pressure too intense. Sport was my outlet for stress. Hey, T, I've been, this has been on my mind for a bit. Chair yoga, postures, 5 to 10 moves. Let me see what I can come up with. See what I can find and gather and come up with and put together a routine that I will demonstrate for you. We'll do another FaceTime and see if that helps. For stress, for exercise, for healing, for raising the energy centers along the spine. I says the very same messenger was Adolf, who the British soldier spared. I thought that was where you were going. So I wondered the regrets of that British soldier. I says, what do you think of that? It's the dynamic play of life. We just never know. Never know how it plays out. We, each and every one of us, can only do our part. Does that mean the British soldiers shouldn't have been kind? Or does it mean that the young messenger shouldn't have gotten involved in politics? What if he healed himself from that bitterness? What if he had an epiphany like the slave trader? So, yeah, it's impossible to second guess history. Some people ask, what if Al Gore was president during 9/11? What would his response would have been? Would he have done anything different beforehand? The thing is, Al Gore wasn't president. We got what we got, and the results were what the results were. T says that she is disabled and in a wheelchair, for those who don't know. So yeah, I'll try to do it tomorrow afternoon, if not sooner. I have a few things in mind, and I'll have something for you, T. So between the breath work, and maybe some guided meditations, your yoga nidra, and the actual yoga, the asanas, the postures. Maybe we can just keep healing to your, keep adding to your healing journey. Mocha says, that's crazy, Ice. Ice says, I love history. I love to teach you history. I appreciate it. Appreciate the story. As Mocha said, that's crazy. Odom says, we have to pick up the pieces. We can't be stressing. It's a blessing in every lesson, if we detected it. Wise words from our friend Odom. Odom has definitely learned lessons very well in his life. He's shared a few stories. Him and I have a little something in common, that we had our drinking days in the past. T says there is no recovery. I think there's always a recovery, but I don't think it always unfolds the way we expect it to. It's not always how we picture recovery will be. Um, but the thing is, this is why sometimes it's better to stay in the uncertainty of the moment, the uncertainty of life. Because um, here's what I noticed during my writing journey is there was a long period of a time when I would come to an empty page, or in my case now for the past 20 years, a blank screen, and it would fill me with dread, completely empty. How am I supposed to fill something? An overwhelming task. The emptiness was intimidating. It was demanding that I do something. And what if I wasn't up? What if I wasn't inspired? Wasn't up for the challenge? And then there was a shift through meditation, through the practice of yoga, through life itself, um, where I began to see that it wasn't a challenge. I don't have to go through life facing everything as a challenge, that I'm going to do this to heal, that my recovery is going to take these steps, that the emptiness itself was an invitation for whatever inspiration held, and it wasn't up for me to make those demands an inspiration. My job was to show up and say, okay, I'm ready to write. Whatever faith. And it could be the faith of an atheist saying, life, show me something. So we don't know what your recovery looks like, T, but we know it's a possibility. We know that your life proceeds from the emptiness of a blank page, waiting for you to write some kind of story. Let's see what it is. Because I'll write that story with you, and your friends here will write that story with you. And we'll just, one line, one word, one letter at a time. And we'll take it from there. But right now, hey, rest in the emptiness, rest in the potentiality, recover, get that energy back that you had yesterday. If you had it yesterday, it didn't go anywhere. It didn't leave you. You're feeling beaten and defeated because you were faced with a bureaucracy that beat you and defeated you, but they didn't end you. So what bureaucracies do. They suck. Because they cease being human and they become an entity, a thing upon themselves, and they no longer view people as people. You're a cog in the machine. That doesn't mean that's the way it's always going to be. Let's see. Wolf says, more wise words. Often what we see as defeat, others see as triumph. This is true. Jacob says to Bumblebee T, I'm proud of you either way. Much love and respect to you. Big salute. Hey, big salute from Jacob Colby. It's a young man who we've all seen how hard he works. Ice says, yes, Mr. Adolf, who I will refer to as Mr. AD, now was very bitter, and after World War I, Germany was the laughingstock of Europe and mainly disrespected for their surrender in World War II. You know the amazing thing about Germany? But let me get down towards the end. Wolf says, agreed, Jacob. So everyone here, T, not just the excellent advice, the excellent words that you're sharing, everyone here is sending you energy, which counts for a whole lot. I says, you can tell how Germany wanted to have revenge and gain respect back during World War II. There is a German march that has lyrics, Bis Damad Versort Deutschland Glück, which I will translate. I wish I had read that first, which I will translate, and that would have saved me from attempting to speak it in German. Wolf says, blessings everyone, needs to do things. Wolf, thank you for stopping by. Please give our love to Barb. And I says it means until no one ever disrupts Germany ever again, disrespects. Or a longer translation will be always keep going until, let's see, until nobody respects or disrupts Germany ever again. Very interesting to me. You know what? What a big difference after World War II. How Germany built themselves up in a totally different way. Medic says, "Own the you, create the challenge. Life is an adventure. When you compete, uh, you're only really competing against yourself." We get some wisdom from Medic. And welcome, Medic. How are you, my friend? I said it's also very weird to think my family used to fight for them. I wonder if they really believe they were superior or not. But a lot of German soldiers at that time were just kids. Yeah, I think a lot of people just followed along. You get caught up in that sweep of patriotism. Not everyone is immune to it. I says a quote. I like says not every German soldier was bad. Not every American soldier uh, good. They were kids forced to fight. It's a good quote. T says, thank you, Jacob, and everyone. Medic says, like also all soldiers, sorry, they had no choice. Medic says, didn't want to go to Iraq, but had no choice. I think Mocha can relate to that very well. You and Mocha share that in common, Medic. I don't know if you guys ever talked about that here before. Medic says, great thing is today Germany and England are close allies, while the French, who were liberated, despise us. It's true about Germany and England. I didn't, you know, is anyone the French really? Is anyone the French really like? I don't know if we've had any French people show up and hang out here. Quite a few people from the Middle East. We've had some people in different parts of Africa. Lots of people in Europe. Of course, all different states. I've had some people from South America. Um, different parts of Asia, of course. Oh, actually, I have had. I got a French burpee friend, and he's an Eric too. I says that German march I was talking about sounds really cool, by the way, but has some questionable lyrics, mainly to the very first one and later one, where they say we fight for Germany and we fight for AD. Squirrel Sniper sends a heart emoji to Bumblebee T as well as Ice Commandant. Squirrel Sniper had popped in at the beginning, said hi. You never know when. I've likened Squirrel Sniper to Batman before. Um, you never know when he's going to pop in again. Medics has Eric's a slang term for Germans in the north. You mentioned that before, north of England. You know, I wonder why though. It's not a super German name, is it? I don't know if I've ever met a German Eric before. At least not spelled Eric. Um, Interesting. Cruising is fun anytime says hey. Hey there, everyone. Cruising is fun anytime. You know what? Here's an amazing thing you guys might not know. Cruising is fun anytime does a lot of crafts. She knits. Wonderfully so. I love watching people knit. It brings me, and I mentioned on her channel, brings me back to that time when I was a kid. Uh, we'd visit my grandmother, and my grandmother, all my great aunts, my aunt and my mom, would they sit around the dining room table. Sometimes they would play cards, but most often they would knit, or they would crochet, or they would sew a quilt, and talk about family matters from all across the spectrum of the family. And it's a very warm, lasting memory for me. So, when they're not offering valuable cruise information and entertaining you on their live streams, she's actually a very good baker as well. Definitely, give me 1 second, guys. Cruising is fun anytime. Jeremy and Cheryl. Here's the link, if it works, and I hope it does. Mocha says, "Well, that's interesting, medic. What? My name is a slur?" Cruising is fun anytime. Says, "Happy Friday," and happy Friday to you, my friend. I says, German Eric would be, yep, that's what I thought. Eric Fromm, who was a famous psychologist. Don't know if he's still alive or not. Says you can put it in Google Translate and click the sound thing, and you'd hear how to say the name in German. We'll do that sometime. Medic says, one thing Mocha knows is you didn't go to KFC in Bastille because I sure didn't see any chickens. I wonder what Mocha has to say about that. Our friend Laradox is here. Laradox, how are you? Cruising is fun anytime, says my childhood was the same. So I love seeing that you're keeping up that tradition, that you're still doing it. Unfortunately, every one of those people in my life, they're gone, but that memory lives on, and it is a warm and loving memory. Goldie says, hi there, lovely Cheryl. I hope you are feeling better. This goes to show you, by the way, the broad spectrum of the care and attention that Goldie brings throughout the internets. All of them. All of the internets. And is it any surprise that our friend Squirrel Sniper speaks fluent Germany? As well, I imagine some ancient languages, possibly some alien languages, dead languages that no longer exist, possibly the language of the archangels, maybe even the language of the universe. I think Scroll Snapper has his finger on the pulse of the cosmos. Our friend Horror of Space is here. Vincent, how are you? Vincent, 2 questions for you. How are you feeling? 3 questions. How are you feeling? How is Mrs. Horror of Space? And when can we expect to view another sit down with you guys? What do you have in store for us? Cruising is fun anytime, Cheryl. Still in bed. Goldie is awesome, and her location is so interesting. It is. Actually, yes to both of those. Goldie is awesome, and her location is so interesting. And occasionally, Goldie invites us along on a walk, and we get to see that up close. Always nice. If Goldie ever decided she just wanted to do, Goldie's a support channel. That's what she does. She supports. But she also does, videos and some live stream here and there, sharing a little bit of her life. But you know what? If she decided to start a channel that was walking with Goldie, that would be enough for me. That would be pretty awesome. Just walking with Goldie. Because she's got a lovely voice to narrate the journey, and it's just beautiful. I says he's using translation. I can tell. Goldie says, thank you, lovely Cheryl. I says, UK Medic, would you like to know how to say medic in German? I bet you medic already knows. I'm guessing. Goldie says hi there too. Ice Commandant. Let's see. Vincent said we had a pal with a friend last night who needed our advice. I'm glad that you were there for a friend. Both of you were. It says Hala. Is that medic? Is that how you say medic? And then he is well and cooking again tonight. Good. I'm glad that you're well. Theradox says, how's it going? It's going good. Theradox, how are you? Medic says, medicine. Medicine. MF Dredson is here. Dredson, my friend, how are you? You know what? I need to check and make sure that I'm getting all the updates from you. I haven't seen anything for a bit. So I just made sure that I'm getting everything. Are my burpee friends, not that it's limited to burpees, but specifically here to my burpee friends, are you subscribed to MF Dredson? Here's his link. If it works, good connection to make. Let's see. Horror of Spice says Becky's at work and we're well and happy. Awesome. Let her know that just Yogi said hi, and that we're sending our love to both of you. Laradak says that his dad, rest in peace, was a guest on the Hot Wings show. Hey, that's pretty amazing. You should share that episode with us sometime. Cruising is Fun says, wow, you're so right. Dredson says, personal accomplishment today. I did 101 pump burpees unbroken for the first time. Awesome. It took me a long time. I'd probably over a year of doing burpees before, even longer, before I started doing unbroken. And now I always do unbroken. It just feels so, so much more mindful to keep doing them unbroken that way. Congratulations. Huge accomplishment. I says to UK Medic, it'll be Sanitator or Sani for short. Goldie says, well, I do have one more place I want to show you guys. Maybe a week from today. Awesome. Hey, really, it's so beautiful. And you, again, you narrate so well. It doesn't even have to be new places. Just Walking with Goldie. It's also a wonderful title. And it just feels very healing. Let's see. Laradox is breaking out the German. Who would have guessed? Well done, Laradox. Medic says I'll have to get my friend Siegfried to teach me German. Siegfried was here. Oh, Medic was here too when he came in. It was nice seeing him. He always adds a lot to the conversation. He's just a nice and friendly guy. Always appreciate him being here. Medic will be right back. Good day. So that is up above our friend Dreadson's link, if it works for you guys. I hope so. Horse Spice says we will be live Sunday. Saturday we're celebrating Father's Day. Happy late Father's Day. Or belated. Happy belated Father's Day. Hopefully I'll be able to catch you Sunday. If you put a notice up, I'll make sure to share it with people. Dreadson, I haven't uploaded for a while. I appreciate you checking in, fam. I'll get back to uploading, though. Looking forward to it. And, hey, no doubt you've been getting into work, though. You don't get 100 unbroken by skipping workouts, that's for sure. Laradak says, the bist ein sehr gut Mensch, Yogi. No idea what that means. I like to think that it means you're the best, Yogi. But it could mean the complete opposite. Except for the fact that we all know that Laradox has a good heart. And he would never wish ill intent on anyone. Because he's a good guy. Let's see. Hey, Laradox. How'd you learn German? Jacob says, "Sleep to you, brother, MF Dreadson." Hey, Dreadson. Jacob's another one. Definitely, I think I got him up already. Let me drop a couple links here. Because I'm on a desktop, I am not the best link dropper. However, it might work. I want to drop that. I'm not a link dropping channel. Some people specialize in that. And man, what a great service they do. But I do like the people making connections here when they're able to. Especially in this case, we got some burpee people who might not be connected. We got Eric Lapointe. His link is dropped. And we got Jacob. So Dreadson, he's up above his link. Check him out. Guys, check each other out. No harder worker in the business than our friend Jacob. And Eric Lapointe is stepping right up there. The great thing with Eric Lapointe is he gets these people to inspire him. He gets Jacob and Lewis. Leo said so. Brian Lane. Across the board, all these great guys. And Goldie says, and here we go, walking with Goldie. That's absolutely beautiful. Walking with Goldie. And I honestly can't think of anything better. If someone said, hey, what do you want to do today? I could wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I wouldn't mind walking with Goldie. I'm indeed fortunate. Because on occasion we get invited to walk with Goldie. But also, every day, I get to walk with Mocha and Misty. Nothing means more to me than walking with Mocha and Misty. I'm not going to say that I have a favorite between the two. I'm not going to say that, you know, Mocha without Misty is not the same. I'm not going to say Misty without Mocha isn't the same. I think she might know. So, Skull Sniper says his bloodline comes from Sophia of Prussia. So, Skull Sniper comes by his language naturally. And Jacob says, I seen you doing those burpee variations, and you definitely nailed those reps, brother. Every rep is clean, and your form is smooth. Big salute, Mr. Dreadson. Thank you for that, Jacob. Man, praising somebody's rep in the burpee community, that's like the highest praise. No one wants to be told, you know, constructive criticism, yes. Like I have people who've pointed out my floppy left shoulder. That's because I got a floppy left shoulder. Goldie says, it's funny to me how both my channels were renamed here. I absolutely love it. Walking with Goldie. I'm impressed with our friend Laradox. Just speaking away in German. So fluently. 17 years old. I'm 59 and I struggle with English. Vincent says he'll have it up Sunday morning so all can share and get ready. Awesome. And I'll definitely share it out, my friend. And hopefully, I'll be there. I says, I think he's using a translator. It's fun. Hey, I'm impressed, even if even using a translator. Because here's the thing, Laradox, out of the goodness of his heart, is making that effort to communicate with a friend who speaks a different language, offering us some comfort. So once again, Laradox, you stepped up. Great job, my friend. And he says, using the translator, nothing special. Hey, it's still pretty special as far as I'm concerned. I said he called it. Little do you guys know that I'm actually using an English translator right now in, in order to have this conversation. Laradox says, I actually thought about killing myself at times in my life, but these streams saved me. Hey, Laradox, always reach out, my friend, whenever you feel like that. We're here for you. We have disagreements and views, but I see your heart. I see where your heart is, my friend. And Goldie has mentioned to me several times, she sees where your heart is. She completely understands where you're coming from. So, hey, you got friends here. You got people that love you here. Oops, I missed Eric LaPointe's statement. I was on a ladder, but yes, I am already sub to Dresden. He eats burpees for lunch. I'm glad you have that connection, Eric. And I'm looking forward to new content coming from our friend Dredson. Ice says he is trilingual, German, Dutch, and English. I know. Hey, Ice, how different is German and Dutch? Jacob says, agreed, brother Eric LaPointe. Goldie says she is trilingual too. And isn't Medic trilingual as well? He might even be four, because he speaks English and American. And Romanian, I know. Goldie is trilingual too. English, Hungarian, and Romanian. Excellent English too. T says, Goldie, you're trilingual. Scroll Sniper says, taught myself sign language too many moons ago. Mocha is getting her associate's degree in American Sign Language. She had money left on her GI Bill, and she wanted to go back. She was inspired from a friend of hers who was deaf, that way back when she was in school, high school, I believe. I think she said 10th grade. And it always just in the back of her mind that she wished that she was able to communicate better, and she saw the opportunity. Goldie says, well done, Squirrel Sniper. Laradox says, thank you, Yogi. You're welcome, my friend. Hey, you always got a home here. Let's see, Ice says, to non-Dutch or German speaker, it'll sound very, very similar, but you can be able to hear differences. But you'd hear a lot. Oops, I lost. Sorry about that. I lost the thread a bit. Ice says, my best friend is from Romania, but he lives on the Hungarian border. So he speaks Hungarian. What a difficult language. My grandmother was Hungarian. Let's see. Carrion Collect says, I'm a monkey. Are you really a monkey, or are you singing the Rolling Stones song, I'm a Monkey? Because if you are, that's an excellent song, my friend. You came in with a great song pick. And if you're a monkey, um, hey, you know how to say I'm a monkey. And that's pretty impressive. Laradox says, guys, I'm so glad you are being extra nice to me. Hey, Laradox, I think we're always nice to you. But sometimes, we see that disagreement, we have a bit of a debate, but it's never done out of malice. It's never done out of spite. Um, so if you ever feel like someone's not being super nice to you, let us know. Goldie says, Noise, I live in Transylvania, Romania, not on the border. So, Kian Collects says that he, or is it she, is still a monkey. Well, once a monkey, always a monkey, as they say. I don't know who actually says that, but somebody. Dardoc says, thanks. Uh, thank you. It means a lot. Like I feel so bad when I make you guys sad. You've never made me feel anything, honestly. All right, that's not true. Frustrated at times, but that's on me. That's not on you. My frustration just means me lacking the ability to communicate better. So again, that's on me. You don't make me feel anything. You don't make me feel anything bad. I says it was fun speaking my native tongue to you, Laradox. Thank you. See what I mean, Laradox? Goldie says, Eric McCarty, I'll be leaving you a message in private. I'll be on the lookout for it. We're probably going to talk for maybe 10 more minutes-ish. Laradox says, you're welcome, Ice. Always there to help. Mocha says hi to Carrion Collects. And some laughing emojis. Laradox says, I'll help anyone in need because, in my belief, Jesus says so. And you know what the amazing thing is? The more you do that, the more you would naturally hear the voice of Jesus in your heart. It's no longer because Jesus says so. It's because you are now literally the messenger for the voice of Jesus. It's natural, spontaneous. First, things like that are a practice. If we learn to listen to the voice of Jesus. We learn to listen to the voice of God. We learn to listen to the voice of whatever that higher source is, whatever name you give it. And we practice and we practice and we practice. And then one day we notice that we're just simply hearing it. It's become that inner voice. Always guiding. And that voice is there to guide you. And you can always turn to it. That's what I meant when I said we always have two choices. Am I acting, responding, out of fear or out of love? The voice of Jesus will always offer you love. The voice of worldly things, of ego, is always going to speak out of fear. All right, here we go. This is where I got lost. To a non-Dutch or German speaker, it'll sound very, very similar, but you will be able to hear differences, but you hear a lot if you speak one or two. Interesting. So do you think any German would be able to communicate with any Dutch fairly easily? Or there would be some struggle? Goldie says that Google Translate is a great tool. It is. I communicate with my French burpee friend that way. Let's see. Man, I'm falling behind, aren't I? I'm not too far behind. Paradox says, okay, cool, you speak great English, Ice. He'll give us an example. German, alle wie gut. Deutsch, Dutch. Dutch is Halle gut. Hat van dag. Okay, similar, but yeah, you'd see the differences. T says, who does sign language? That she is a level 2 British Sign Language. I'd love to know the difference. I've talked with Moke about this between um, British Sign Language and American Sign Language. It's Mocha who does sign language as well as Squirrel Sniper. A shame that we're not like on a panel and everyone can demonstrate. Aerodox says it's crazy because, well, I have a great friend who was recently diagnosed with a super rare disease called AVM. And if anyone could please pray to Jesus that he'll be okay, that would be greatly appreciated. I will definitely offer prayers to your friend, as to you, because it's never easy when a loved one suffers. Let's see. Milka says, yes, BSL is different than ASL. Yeah, I'd love to hear or see like both U and T together and going like word for word and just seeing how they're different. And Walking with Goldie is offering prayers to Laradox's friend. I says, Laradox, how you say German and Germany in Spanish? We might find out. Goldie says, hi there, lovely Mocha. See, Squirrel Sampa says that, yes, it took to learning when I left school and was commuting to work on a train for 4 hours a day. Man, way to take advantage of that opportunity, Squirrel Snapper. All right, now I'm falling behind. T says, Milk Americans use one hand, British uses two hands. So that's actually not true. Yeah, I've seen Mocha use two hands. Maybe one is more predominant than the other. T says that Squirrel did 4 years evening classes. Wow. Mocha says there are many signs with one and many with two. Greg says, hey to Laradox. Nice. Spanish and German is Spanish. Interesting. Yeah, Mocha, that's her stuff. She was a linguist. Everything to do with words, everything to do with language. I'm fascinated by it. So T says, Mocha, the finger spelling alphabet is one hand, and UK alphabet is two. Mocha says her daughter's father was half German heritage and spoke German fluently, as well as Spanish. He's a smart guy. Laradox says, guys, I literally have no one else in my life except you guys and my niece and my sister and my aunt and Yogi. You are what my father's age would have been right now? Well, my friend, you are young. The world will open up for you for sure. As I mentioned, you got a good heart. So one day you will have a family, wife, kids. But hey, if we can be here for you, all the better. All the better for us. Scroll Stepper said they would understand to a point. And that ICE, German, and Dutch communicating. When none know the other language, there would be some struggle, but easy to figure out. A lot of Dutch speak German, and a lot of Germans and Dutch border Dutch. Interesting. Some from Belgium and Austria, says Squirrel Sniper. And always, I found that interesting, uh, the difference between Austrian and German, how much of a difference that might be, and then throw in Dutch into the equation. Isn't like Swiss related to that as well? Milka says ASL is based on Old French Sign Language. He says, okay, Yogi. Interesting. Milka says, yes, fingerspelling is one on hand, but signs can be on both. And Milka has an excellent point. More signs and fingerspelling as it would take forever, mainly fingerspelling. This is true. Kay's here. Kay, my friend, how are you? I got to spend some time in Kay's garden today. Beautiful day. Beautiful day to spend with Kay. I'm getting some more German thrown at me. Keeps the brain sharp. Even if I gotta Google it. You are a good yogi. I'm an okay yogi. I do my best. Let's see. Jacob says, thank you, Miss Yogi, for having me on your live stream. It was an honor to be here and support you. Gonna go walk. Enjoy the nature. Big salute to you. Much love. Talk to you soon, brother. Thank you, Jacob. Much appreciated. Enjoy your time in nature, my friend. T says, just want to find a cave to live in. Man, I can understand that. I have thought about that often. What self-respecting yogi wouldn't want to find a cave to live in? Okay, says, have a great walk, Jacob. Yep, we're going to call it a day in just a minute. I need to refuel, decompress, get some stuff done. I want to look into the a bit more of the chair yoga to do along with our friend T. Score Semper says, I understand there is one word that anyone from any nation will understand. It is pronounced the same wherever you go. What is that? Probably something obvious, so obvious I can't even think of right now. I says, I appreciate you. It is 90 degrees here at dry heat. It is 90 plus here, high humidity. I'm not sure one is better than the other. I think it is pick your misery. T says, sorry, I'm quite in the dark pit, not ignoring anyone. Understood, my friend. Understood. No need to apologize. So, hey, I did it. I caught up. So being caught up is a good time before I fall behind again, um, to say goodbye. Um, Squirrel Sniper, what's the one word before I say goodbye? Don't let me end it on suspense. What is the one word that every nation, any nation will understand, pronounced the same, wherever you are? T says, Yogi, talk later. Yes. So we might have to wait until um, the next live stream, which will be in about 2 hours. And maybe our friend Squirrel Sniper can stop back. Mainly, I never like to rush off, but mainly I'm sitting here for 2 hours, um, and I need to use the bathroom. So, with that said, Paradox says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Laradox says, bye. Thanks for sharing that, Laradox. Oh, okay, so we're talking sign language. T says, Squirrel, fire is the same in other language. That would make sense. So, all right, guys, I got to head out. I will see everyone. If you're bored, you got nothing to do, I'll be here. Same stuff. This actually, we unfolded at a nice pace today. There was only like 2, 3, 4 of us earlier, and then we picked up some steam. We got Ice is gonna listen to some music. Awesome. Eric Point says another great live. Thank you, Eric. It is always a great live when you join in, when we have all our friends here. Much appreciated to everyone. Kay, appreciate you stopping by. Sorry we're ending a bit early for you. Squirrel Sniper says he will tell us on his next live. Awesome. Hey, T says Brian is going live. Brian Lane. Awesome. That will be up and watching when I do. I'm gonna make a little something to eat, and I'll check Brian out. Always want to be there to support him, as well as each and every one of you. So, guys, go check out Brian. And I'll see everyone later. Take care.